about whatevs. So if you have questions about other things, it's totally cool. I like talking about geeky stuff myself. You know, Marvel movies, tech, iPhones. I love my iPhone 6 Plus. I know it's ginormous for most people. I went to Android earlier this year with a Samsung Note 3. Loved it, fell in love, and I couldn't go back to iPhone unless iPhone amped up their game and made a bigger phone, and they did. So I went back to iPhone. Not because Android's bad, but because I'm used to iPhone. Just am. The same reason that Android people don't want to come over to iPhone. They're used to Android. There's some things I miss about Android that I wish iPhone had, like animated wallpapers. Could download ROM emulators and play Super Nintendo games. Yeah. That ain't happening on Apple. And I understand why. It's like, okay, it's a closed system. That's nice. You don't really have to worry about malware like you do on the open source stuff. But, yeah. And I love Apple Pay, even though some retailers are like, we're disengaging that so you can't pay with Apple. Like, why? Because we're making our own. Why? Who cares? Make one for everybody, okay? Make something that will work with Android and Apple and Windows and BlackBerry. Who cares? Just make something that'll work for everybody. It's not a contest, really. I mean, they like to think it is. You can't have a monopoly, because if one company owns everything, that's not good. That doesn't push them to be better at what they do. And Android pushed Apple to finally catch up with a phone with specs that meet 2012 Android phones. Your 6 Plus can do what your Android phone did 2 years ago. Progress! I'll take it. I'll take it. It's good. I love the Marvel movies, man. This has been a great year for Marvel movies. Spider-Man, not so much. But I love X-Men, Days of Future Past. Oh my God, it was so good. And it totally retconned 3 out of existence. Battle of Gods even retconned GT out of existence. Spoiler! Then Guardians was fantastic. Honestly, in terms of action, I think the best Marvel movie this year was Winter Soldier. So good. That was the epitome of what a sequel should be. It's not like the first, and that takes things in a whole new direction and totally succeeds on its own merit. Just like Aliens did with Alien. Alien is a classic horror movie. Aliens is a classic action movie with horror elements in it. And Alien is a horror movie with sci-fi elements in it. And it just works. It's pretty cool. So yeah, Guardians was fantastic. I saw that 3 times in the theater. IMAX 3D, worth it every time. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Tried out for more of the Marvel cartoon stuff and didn't get cast. It's like, oh, come on, come on. But you'll hear me in some more Marvel stuff soon. I can't talk about it yet, but yeah, good times, good times. Do theaters in this area, like, re-show old horror movies at Halloween?
Yeah. There's one in
They do? Okay. Because I live in Los Angeles, and they pulled out, like, Elm Street, Poltergeist, The Exorcist. It's like, so I'm going broke going to the movies. It's like, I haven't been to the movies this much in forever. But it's worth it, because it's like, wow, it's just like the old days. I love me some horror movies. And that's ironic, because 90% of horror movies are crap. They're not scary, they're not cheesy, or it's like, this is just a gore fest. They're just trying to show off how gross they can make something. And if that's your thing, that's fine. But I'd rather be creeped out, honestly. I like gore just as much as the next person who likes horror movies, but I like a blend of things. The Thing, with Kurt Russell, the 1982 one, man, that was awesome. It's a horror movie with sci-fi elements and cutting-edge, practical special effects. That's something that when Hollywood is finally going back to, like the new Star Wars trilogy, will have real ships and sets, not just green screen. I'm pretty excited about that. I think Disney owning Lucasfilm is a good thing. I know people like to talk crap about Disney owning the world. It's terrible, blah, blah, blah. But look, Disney bought Marvel, and look how Marvel's doing. They know when to leave it alone. It's like, your business model is working. Please continue. And it's working, and I think that's great. I think it's funny that Marvel responded to DC a couple weeks ago. They said, we're doing these 58 movies in the next 10 years. I'm like, all right. And then Marvel says, we're doing these 59 movies in the next 2 years. So now, it's like, I wonder if any of those movies that come out, if they bomb, what will happen next? Is that going to alter the plan? What if Ant-Man doesn't succeed? What if Batman versus Superman is really bad? I think it'll be cool. Personally, I'm one of the 10 people who thought Man of Steel was a good movie. Yay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome! Everybody else goes, what else? It's not a Superman movie. It's like, I know, it's an origin movie. That's why they call it Man of Steel. He's not Superman yet. It's like, Superman would never kill people. Okay. But he has to get to that point to become America's Boy Scout. You have to lose something and figure stuff out in your head before, it's not from Earth. You get that.
So probably should have left the city before going.
Okay, people get on Man of Steel about the destruction porn. Okay? They say, wouldn't Superman make whoever he's fighting get out of the city, save the citizens? It's like, all right, how interesting would it be to watch them fight in a cornfield? In which someone goes, Dragon Ball Z. They fight in mountains, and people love that. It's like, but that's anime. In live action, there has to be stakes. There has to be something. And yeah, more people died than probably should have. But again, I think that's why Superman becomes what he does. He eventually will take, it's like, last time I did this, millions of people died, an entire city was laid waste. Oops. But yeah. Batfleck, people think it's a controversial choice. I actually think he's a good actor. I think he can do it. I don't think he's just going to recycle Daredevil. I think he's going to pull something out. And I'm cool with that. And I like Henry Cavill as Superman. I think he's cool. He's a really good one. Personally, I thought the last guy they found as Superman was good. The movie wasn't, but Brandon Routh, Superman Returns, that dude channeled Christopher Reeve so well. And he's a really good actor. I felt bad that they took, we're going to reboot it, start over. Okay. And just like Spider-Man, we got to reboot it. It's like, really? Why? And then you find out the real reason they rebooted Spider-Man is so Sony can keep it away from Disney. Oh, that's just evil. So I went in knowing that, watching Amazing Spider-Man going, okay, it's all right. Andrew Garfield's good. I totally would have watched another movie with that old cast. Totally. It's been long enough since Spider-Man 3. We can move past that. It was long enough after Men in Black 2. People forgot how terrible that was. And Men in Black 3 was actually pretty solid. Like, all right. Give them time. They can breathe. And we go, this was actually a good movie. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think Marvel and DC are overdoing it by planning out the next decade of superhero movies? You think, or is it exciting? You're on board with it? Okay. Having a plan ahead of time is good. I'm sure all movie studios do this. This is just the first time that they've been public about it. Because you got to think about that. Disney, on their own animated thing, and Pixar probably have the next decade mapped out, but from a marketing perspective, they think, well, why would we want to tell you we're doing Finding Nemo 4 or something? Toy Story 78. At a certain point, it loses its luster, right? But the Marvel movies making as much money as they do, people are going to go. Where's Incredibles 2? This needs to happen. Brad Bird directed Iron Giant, and he did Incredibles, and he knows that people want Incredibles too, but he wanted to get some live action stuff out of his system. He went and made Mission Impossible 4, Ghost Protocol, which was awesome! Dude can direct live action. He's amazing. And his new Disney movie with George Clooney, Tomorrowland. Did you see the teaser trailer for that? Ooh, it looks good. It looks so good. It's not going to be like Haunted Mansion and the Country Bears and all that. It's like, they're not going to do bad Disney attraction stuff anymore. I think they know where they're going. Pirates 5, that's overkill. I thought Pirates 4 was overkill. I think we could have ended with 3.
I thought 2 was overkill.
You thought 2 was overkill? I like Dead Man's Chest compared to 3. 3 is really bloated, even though the last hour is really cool. An hour? Does it have to go on that long? I don't know. Interstellar is really, really good. It's not the greatest thing since, whatever, but I mean, it's really good. I saw that early. I saw it last week. So, I like Chris Nolan. Dark Knight Rises was funny, but and full of plot holes, but still entertaining. All that stuff. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm talking about movies a lot. What else does anyone want to talk about? Or should I continue? I don't even know. Hi, I'm a voice actor. I do voices for games in Animu. Where did Animu come from? Why do people call it that?
Only because the Japanese add a lot of stuff with views and stuff.
Oh, that's Animu. That's Japanese cow? Animu? Worst joke ever. You're fired. What? A cow with really big eyes. I like that plan. That's good. Animu. I like it. It's good. Good. Good deal. Yeah. All right. Looking out to the crowd. Yeah, why not? Lift your hand, sir. Take us somewhere.
If you could pick, a superhero that you absolutely want to do the voice for, that'd be.
Oh my God. That is a messy situation because I love Batman. I think everyone would want to play Batman. The problem is, the best Batman is already Batman, Kevin Conroy. Can't be better than that. I'm also jealous that Troy Baker has gotten to be Batman and the Joker. Even Richard Epcar's been the Joker. Like, that's killer. That's so cool. If I got to do it, it would be just a personal achievement thing, not I'm going to be the best Batman there ever was, because my Batman is Kevin Conroy in the animated world. Hell, he kind of trumps the live-action stuff, too, if you think about it. Yeah.
What's one of your favorite projects that you've worked with?
One of the favorite projects I worked on was honestly Wreck-It Ralph, because Ryu, Street Fighter, taking it back around, Disney, in their infinite wisdom, decided to bring the original voice talent back for the cameos. Sonic, the Street Fighter characters. Thank you, Disney. Thanks, Mickey. Oh, gosh. So that worked out in my favor. I'm not the only English voice of Ryu. I'm the current one. Just like Roger Craig Smith is the current voice of Sonic the Hedgehog. And things have gone really well for Roger because he went on to be the main villain in Planes.
And Batman.
And what?
Batman and Arkham Origins.
And Batman and Arkham Origins. So it's like, all right, that's cool. Every actor gets envious of someone else, but they deserve it. These people are super talented, and they worked for it, and they earned it. And I'm just saying to myself, one of these days, I'm patient. I don't really care. People say, what do you want to voice? I said, the next big thing. That's what I want to do. Something big that makes a big pop culture thing. So like, God, you've been doing that for years. Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, Bleach. It's like, I know. That's one thing on the bucket list, anime. I want to do like domestic animation stuff. I want to do more Disney stuff. I want to do Nickelodeon, all of it. I'm a whore, okay? I want to do it all. And it's because I love the job. Voice acting is just the coolest thing ever. And I was talking to Richard Epcar about this the other day. It's like, I think we give people a false impression because we make it look easy. We come to cons and we're cool and we take pictures of everybody and shake hands and we love our jobs, and it's just, we somehow give people the impression that there's no work to be done. There's a lot of work to be done, mentally too. Not only do you have to hone your craft, you have to have a thick skin, and you have to realize that you're going to audition more than you're actually going to get hired, which means you got to get used to being told no. It's not because you suck, it's just because you're not what they have in mind. The most important thing, more than being hired, in my opinion, is that you continue to be heard, is that your auditions are reaching as wide a net as possible. So that is the overarching goal. So networking, being professional, getting your demo circulated to all the people in the industry, so that you have a chance to show them why you should have a crack at Batman or whatever. Honestly, I wouldn't. I think that's too much pressure. Unless they just said, we're hiring you as Batman. Okay, I'll do it. But if they're going to say, audition as Batman, because I did have a chance to audition for Arkham Asylum, but I chose not to because I knew, it's like, you're an idiot if you're not hired Kevin Conroy. Pay him what he wants, come on. Jeez, yes.
What was your last no?
My last no? I don't know, because some things take months or years. I mean, I could try out for something tonight when I get home. I'll record an audition for a commercial, and then I could be called back in a week or 2 or 3 or a month. You just get used to just putting it out of your head. You do the best you can in the moment, you record the audition, and then send it out to the world, move on with your life. Because if you sit there and focus on every audition, you will go insane. I sure wish Star Wars Rebels would hire me. Of course I wish Star Wars Rebels would hire me. Ah! I wish I could have been the main bad guy on Korra. Ah! Oh! Yeah. But instead, awesome people landed those roles like Steve Blue. Steve's my hero. Steve is the reason I got to be on Naruto. He walked my demo into the studio going, guy from Texas from Dragon Ball Z, he's really good. Give him a chance. Thank you, Steve. Yay. Yes. Great Saiyaman is an awesome superhero. A lot of people don't like Saiyaman. They think he's Jar Jar Binks, you know? I don't think he's Jar Jar Binks. I think he's a lot of fun. I like playing the nerdy. I like playing both aspects of Gohan. Total nerd and badass. I don't like where the story ended up with him. I don't think personally he should have been absorbed by Majin Buu. I think he should have totally kicked his ass. It's like, how would that be? The main character of the show didn't win. Ooh. Let's go anti-Hollywood. You're Japan after all. Come on. It is what it is. I still have work thanks to the success of the show. Even though Gohan's arc kind of, he became a bookworm and then GT, but the characters come back every year. There's a new game, and then the new movie, and then now they're spiraling off into a whole series of movies because they drop bombs in Battle of Gods saying, oh, there's all these other things out there. Like, oh, I see what you did there. So it's cool. It's cool. Job security. But if it all ended right now, I could say, oh my God, I had a 14-year run. How many people get to say that? Ah! That's so cool. I feel so blessed to be a part of everything that started with Dragon Ball Z. It led to, you know, Yu Yu Hakusho, Blue Gender, Full Metal Alchemist, Bleach, Naruto, Gurren Lagann, Street Fighter, zombies in Resident Evil 5 and 6. You know, background soldier just yelling his nuts off in Titanfall. Guy who dies after 2 episodes in Attack on Titan. You know, everyone dies on that show. It's like, that's what I want to put. It's like, I died on Attack on Titan. The rest of the cast goes, yeah, so did we. Yes?
In Dragon Ball Z, we go through the Potara earrings like Gohan, the way he dropped them.
Uh-huh.
Did you ever do any, like, just joke clips with the voice actor Goku as a fusion?
No, see, we never riffed back and forth because in anime, the actors record individually. Now, when we preview each line in Japanese, so we can hear how loud or soft to make the line. And then there's Christina V. We're not staring at you. Oh, I get a hug. Awesome. Hi. I hug you from afar. You going to Jimmy John's?
No, they're bringing it to me.
Oh, they're bringing it to okay. That's even better. Because they're getting me Jimmy John's too. I'm so happy. Yay, we win. We win the internet. We live in Los Angeles. We don't have Jimmy John's there.
What?
I know. It's a travesty. Hate when that happens. So yeah, we don't record together, unfortunately. The only time that you have the whole cast together is if it's a cartoon. Like a TV show cartoon. The movie stuff, Disney, Wreck-It Ralph, all that stuff, that's, celebrities have their own crazy schedules. They don't even record together. That's an interesting puzzle for the director, right? They have to put these little pieces together and have all these performances sound seamless. Think about the challenge of that. And that's something I don't think all the otaku dub haters out there have no appreciation for. I get that you don't like the English voices or you don't like the script changes. That's fine. But if you knew how hard it is to adapt a script into English, I don't know if you guys went to Chris Kaysen's panel this weekend. He adapts a lot of anime, most recently Blood Lad, and he's working on other shows currently. But yeah, it's like, my hat's off to anyone with the patience to sit there and go back and forth frame by frame on a QuickTime file of each episode and mark that on the script and have to notate every time that character does anything. And then that's on, the script. Whether it's a reaction or a huh or a closed mouth, open mouth, clenched teeth, all that stuff. So yeah, I could hear Sean in my headphones if he's recorded for that particular line, but I just have to trust the director that I'm giving them the performance that they need, because they're the one orchestrating it. Over the course of 2 or 3 weeks, sometimes longer, everyone's coming in, because everyone has their own hectic schedules to record their parts, and usually they'll get all the bit part stuff at the end. Sometimes, I've been working so long that now this is a good problem to have. I don't land as many named roles and big roles. I get called in to do the bit part stuff, which means I still get paid, and I don't have to audition. That's a cool thing. Now, as an actor, does it stretch you creatively? No. But it feels good when the director goes, Kyle, I love bringing you in because I know you're reliable. You can spit out 15 different voices and save us a lot of money. I go, okay. Well, thanks for the free gig I didn't have to work for. But of course, I have worked for it, though. For 14 years, I've auditioned, nothing, audition, yay, something! Audition, nothing, audition, yay, something! Lather, rinse, repeat. Yes.
Did you have a double role, like were you voiced doing the same job?
I have. I voiced Weskai and Paikon on Dragon Ball Z.
Of course.
And Weskai brings Paikon to the Otherworld tournament. I'm also 2 roles, I forgot who they are, in Star Ocean. I'm 2 roles in Fire Emblem Awakening, Frederick and Baladar. I don't know if they talk to each other though. We record 1 character at a time, just so you guys know. It's, I don't have to go back and forth. We have to get it line by line, have it sync up with the video. That's why we can, if we're lucky, we can bang out 40, 50 lines an hour. Sometimes 75 if we're really going at a fast clip. In the video game world, we're recording the dialogue first, and then the fight sounds at the end, because that's all the stuff that shreds your vocal cords. That's not fun, but it's part of the job. Yeah.
Can you actually do a voice like Gohan?
You want a Gohan voice? Fight you, I want to kill you. I wish he had a catchphrase, He just doesn't. It's like, Pikachu, I choose you. Just doesn't have that. Next time on Dragon Ball Z. Kamehameha! Woo! I'm dizzy. You guys are spinning. What? Hi. You checking on me? Did I scare you?
Are you sure you're okay? It sounded like something blood was happening.
It is. I'm saving the Earth. Yay! Gohan and Sailor Mars, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Yes.
Okay, so characters that have really, the one you just did there, you do a lot of it, how would be your reaction to it? Because you said you get dizzy,
Yeah, if you scream enough, the air is leaving your head, and you're in a little confined space, at least in Funimation, depending on the recording booth. Some are like a little TARDIS, and then others are a little bit bigger. But generally, you can't have the air conditioning on in there because the mic will pick it up. The mic is so sensitive, and here's your food digesting. Here's your heartbeat sometimes. What? So it can be a challenge to, you gotta have great breath control. Something you probably take for granted, right? It's like, singers have that. I'm not a singer, really, but I'm a drummer. But you have a sense of rhythm, timing, breath control. You learn to control your diaphragm and all that, so that you can, have your voice last a bit longer for the screaming and all that. It's placement, vocal placement. There's a voice actor named D. Bradley Baker. His big claim to fame, he does tons of voice acting for cartoons and games and all that, but what he is usually called upon to do is creature sounds. And if you go to D. Bradley Baker's website, he has demos for everything. Pigs, crickets, horses, demons, monsters, like what? And they all sound legit. You know, it's like, that's impressive. And if you ever hear him interviewed, watch the stuff of box trolls. Him and Steve Bloom are like the box trolls. So he talks about the placement in your head, nasal, back of the throat, upper palate, lower palate. This all make a difference on how the voice comes out and how it can affect your ability to sustain it or whatnot. Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious, so when you're like doing voice acting, you know, everyone has horrible bosses, it's just like, oh, you know, like, they're beyond ridiculous. How did they get to be your boss? Like, oh, how many of those have you had to deal with?
Bosses in terms of what?
Like, horrible bosses, like if they died that day, like you would be, oh, thank God we're gonna get something new. Like you have no remorse for them. Like they were that bad.
Oh, I've never wished death upon anybody.
I'm not saying like death, I'm just saying like, you know, just horrible bosses.
Like people that hire me? Bosses? Or when I hear bosses, I think video game bosses? You're talking about higher up in the company that hire people.
Yeah, employee bosses.
I've never had any friction from anybody. I've never had anybody. I pride myself on being really laid back and friendly and professional, and I show up on time and all that.
So you technically like had all good higher ups and all
I
that?
get along with everybody.
But they get along with you and stuff like that. They're not like whining and complaining about everything. Cause I know like one, you know, like for example, you know, like if you're stock or whatever, you're always slow. No matter how fast you are, even if you're the fastest person, it's like you always hear from them. It's like, oh, you're slow. Like, what? I'm the fastest person here. You're calling me. I'm always going slow.
Nah, I never had that problem. No, I've had no problem whatsoever. I think that's part of the reason that you can continue to get hired as a voice actor in anime dubs in particular. You have to be fast. And if you're slow, you're probably not going to be called up no matter how good you are. That's something to consider. You can be a great actor, but it doesn't mean you're going to be a great dubber, if you know what I mean. Someone who can bang out all those reaction sounds and do it in a minimal amount of takes so that they can stay on schedule. If they get behind schedule, that costs more money because studio time costs money. If people are slow and it's like, we budgeted you to come in and knock this out in 2 hours and you take 4, they'll pay you for it. But that, you know, someone up the food chain has to, you know, sit there and justify that.
But another good question, and I've always been kind of wondering about this one, is that technology is advancing ever so amazingly.
Yeah.
And there's just people out of nowhere making really good stuff. They're not major producers, and their stuff is almost as good as, you know, the multi-million-dollar, you know, and so like anyone can technically make their own movie with the budget.
Yep.
Are you worried? Is there like a huge risk where at some point they're not going to need voice actors?
Oh,
and they
no.
just do everything on the computer?
I'm actually not worried about that. Thank you, sir. Jimmy Johns. Round of applause for Noah is done. Yeah, actually, the last time that kind of made me remember the Hatsune Miku stuff, all the Vocaloid stuff, how that software, the auto-tune stuff, it sounds like, supposedly, sounds like a real human voice. I don't think, no matter how advanced they get in that realm, that we will ever truly be in danger of losing our jobs, because there's just that human element, the warmth of someone's voice, the emotional content. Just like in CG, they've come a long way with computer animation to make people look real, except the eyes. The eyes look dead and soulless, no matter what. Try watching Polar Express and not getting creeped out. Tom Hanks is dead! Or Beowulf, remember that one? They got Angelina Jolie perfect, but even the eyes just like, ah. There's just something about a real person that I don't think software is ever going to do. They're going to get to a certain impressive point, but yeah. And What's that?
Just think about real people, you get bloopers too.
You get bloopers, yeah, it wouldn't be fun. We would have no great outtakes. If you can bang it out with just by programming it in, yes, you'll save money. But will the product be as good in the end? No. It can't just technically be good. A good acting performance is based on tons of factors. How can that be delineated into zeros and ones? Really? I'm sure there's someone out there who thinks that's the coolest challenge in the world, and more power to them, but I think the work's cut out for them. I don't think you're going to be able to play. I mean, Skynet, they're like, nah, I don't know. Don't trust machines that much. The Terminator. La, la, la. Who's excited for that reboot? That Arnold's in. They got Emilia Clarke from Game of Thrones as Sarah Connor.
Weirdly enough, a different Game of Thrones actor played her before.
Yeah, a different Game of Thrones actor. Lena Headey. Yeah, she's been Sarah Connor on the Sarah Connor Chronicles, which was a damn good show. Yes. Favorite action movie? That's hard to say. People usually ask for generic. What's your favorite movie? Probably goes back to the original Star Wars, because I was 9, I think, saw it in the theater, big screen, 70 millimeter. What's 70 millimeter? Ask your parents. That really affected everything from a pop culture standpoint, from everything. It's like people can just quote Star Wars and insert it in a conversation. I just love that. Action movie, the original Die Hard, that still holds up. That's my favorite Christmas movie because it's set at Christmas time. I want to see that John Wick movie. I heard that one's really good. And Keanu Reeves, you know, he's not appropriate for 99% of the roles he's given, but he's really good in that handful. Like, he's the perfect Neo in The Matrix. He's perfect for that. And I have a feeling the John Wick stuff, he's really good in that too. There's a certain kind of character that he just fits perfectly. Not so much other things. I love Jason Statham, but he gives one kind of role, one kind of performance. It's like, outside of that, it's like, he's great in The Expendables. He's that one kind of role with a sense of humor. I love his character in Expendables. I did not see Expendables 3, although 2 was really good. 2 was what the first one should have been. I like the idea of Expendables. Let's get the female action stars their own movie. You have Uma Thurman, Sigourney Weaver. I'd be down for that. Who else? Who else would be a cool kick-ass star? Well, ScarJo is already one now. Linda Hamilton? Yeah. I don't know. So anyway, yes.
Going back to the advances of 2D, 3D technology, I guess, is there something else that is dubbing 3D lines for even Street Fighter? Because now it's supposed to just like drop it down to 2D, you have in and out as it goes, and words, yes, third dimension.
Yeah.
Dubbing 3D CG animation is akin to dubbing live action. The subtleties of the movements of the mouth and even the tongue in certain instances, that's a challenge. Especially when you're dubbing foreign stuff. I've dubbed a lot of just Taiwanese, Chinese knockoff, Hong Kong action direct-to-video crap. And the movement of the mouth, no matter what you try to massage out of the line, you have to get the line out. And as long as it starts and finishes on time, yeah, kind of approximate and hope for the best. It's easier with anime. 2D animation is a mouth open and closing. But the subtlety of the mouth opening and closing, that's a bigger challenge. And I actually welcome that challenge. I think it's fun as an actor to have to dub live action or 3D CG stuff, which I haven't gotten to do really yet. Hope to. So I wanted that to sound natural. I want it to sound real. Yeah, it'd be cool.
I guess really quick follow-up to that. So for like, Super Street Fighter 4, did you dub that? Were they recorded action?
Yeah, with Super Street Fighter, the animation, the little OVA stuff, all the cutscenes, that was not animated when we recorded the dub version. All we had were animatics, drawings, not flowing animation. So that's why the dub is bad on that. It looks like we didn't even try. Problem is, we didn't have the materials. So all we could do is we take the Japanese audio, see how long it is, and we have to just make it match the timing of that. Hope for the best. In the case of Street Fighter, didn't fare so well. But it's not for lack of trying. We just didn't have the materials at the time. It's back of the room, yeah. Anime to live action should never happen. It needs to stop. It should have died years ago, long before Dragon Ball Evolution. Ghost in the Shell's happening, not thrilled about it. Keanu wants Cowboy Bebop to happen, not thrilled about it. I love Cowboy Bebop, but anime's anime for a reason. Huh? The best live-action Dragon Ball Z fight is in the Matrix. It just is. And those guys are, the Wachowskis are seriously, or guy and girl now, are seriously into anime. And you can see when we're watching the Matrix, like, you can tell, they love anime. But no, I think Speed Racer looked pretty, but nah, they just missed out. I hear the Rurouni Kenshin movies are good.
Yeah.
Meh. What's better, the anime? I rest my case. No matter how good they can make it, it's still not going to be the anime. Kind of like the people argue about the book's better. Okay. I don't read though. America or Iron Man, but I love the characters as movie characters. I'm a visual guy. I need that. Hobbit, no interest whatsoever. Not even as a movie, I'm sorry. Because I heard it's boring and overly long. Smaug. Smaug. Yes.
He said anime versus live action, Death Note.
Death Note. I saw it and thought, okay, Ryuk looked cool. That was about it. The whole rumored Zac Efron thing. Warner Brothers has the rights to do Bleach. I hope that never happens. No, just no. Dragon Ball Evolution made money overseas. More than it did here in the States. It made money overseas, I hear, because they thought it was a parody. It's not the worst movie ever made. It's a terrible Dragon Ball movie. But I can think of millions of other terrible movies that you just can't make it through. Oof. Video games, same thing. Video games do not need to be made into movies. Street Fighter, Legend of Chun-Li.
The first one was way better.
Okay, the Van Damme one was funny. It wasn't good, though.
I'll give you that. What about Final Fantasy Advent Children?
Final Fantasy Advent Children looks pretty.
No, but also though too, even the fight scenes and everything. How is that bad? Why?
Well,
If that game was bad, why?
no, I think if you want to do a Dragon Ball movie, try it in 3D CG like Advent Children. I think it might have half a chance because that hair just will not look right in live action, ever. In CG though, you can have the hair. I'd be down for that. Now they tried that with Gotcha Man or Battle of the Planets. That bombed. They have a live action one of that too. Live action space battle, space something, Yamato. The old Star Blazers. It looks cool, but they changed stuff. Yes.
Have you seen the live action Mortal Kombat movies?
Yeah, I saw the first Mortal Kombat in theaters and thought, this is terrible. Good soundtrack. I like soundtrack.
And you hear the sequel and you're like, wow, this is way better.
Yeah, Super Mario Brothers. Super Mario Brothers is, oh my god. Even Nintendo said nope. Never again, we will never make another Nintendo movie thanks to that. I don't blame them. Yeah.
What was it? When was it that you decided voice acting is for you? Like, what was your biggest inspiration?
Biggest inspiration for voice acting is Mel Blanc, Looney Tunes, the voice of all those characters. Bugs Bunny, what's up, Doc? Yeah, I just love Bugs Bunny. I love all those characters. The fact that one guy could give those characters unique characteristics, even though you could kind of tell it's the same guy. But he made them all different. A speech impediment, or an accent, or an attitude. That's what acting is. So he was a huge inspiration, and I was probably 8 or 9. That's when I decided I want to do cartoon voices when I get older. Achievement unlocked! So yeah, that felt really, really good. And yeah, who else? I'm sorry, yes.
I know Aizen's been out of the show for a while, but what are your thoughts about Bleach ended last night?
Bleach ended last night, so it's bittersweet. I've been done for months, actually, because Aizen's arc ended long before the end of the actual show. It does continue in the manga, though, right?
He's in a flashback.
He's in a flashback in the manga. Okay, well, if they ever come back, I might have a little work to do, but I kind of wish that had a more climactic climax, I guess. It's like having Aizen just be imprisoned. If I had my way, Aizen would decapitate Ichigo and like juggle cats and go out singing a song. That's how I would end Bleach. But again, I'm thankful for, again, the work, because I love doing this job. And if I can make money doing something I love, that is the best place to be in life. Your goal is not to be rich. Of course we all want to be rich, but that shouldn't be your end goal. Don't do it because I want to go to cons and be a rock star. No, you do it because you love it. Whether it's artists or animation, directing, whatever you want to do it because you love it, not because it gives you things. Yeah.
Have you recorded any lines for Tekken Cross Street Fighter yet?
I have not recorded any lines for Tekken Cross Street Fighter. That's not even on the schedule. What I don't understand about Capcom is they keep repackaging Street Fighter 4. Why? Street Fighter 4 is an awesome game, but let's move on. Let's make something different. Yeah.
No, the reason behind that is they didn't learn their lesson with the Super Nintendo when they kept redoing the repackaging Street Fighter 2. Turbo, and the there's a million of them. Apparently they feel they need to do it again. So probably have a million different versions.
There's too many. I mean, again, I get to record for those new versions of it, but I think the fans are like, okay, we're done with 4. Let's move on to 5.
Did Capcom take a theory in itself that Dead Rising 3 DLC?
Yeah. Controversial, but the thing that I like is job security. So Capcom's like, we want a dedicated English cast. Like, you got it. Yay. I like that. So whenever Ryu comes back for something, they'll remember to call me, I hope. Yes.
Actually, my question was going to be, when you got the voice for Ryu, you said there were a lot of other English Ryus than what it's currently. So how good do you think you might be able to come back with Ryu in Street Fighter 5 or another cameo game or Super Street Fighter 4 Ultra Super Ultra Edition?
How what now?
How well do you think you'll be coming back, staying as Ryu?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, unless they, for whatever reason, decide they want to go in a different direction, I mean, that's out of my hands. But, you know, personally, I'm still hoping that they make a Wreck-It Ralph 2, and they'll just have him come back and say another 2 lines.
I still haven't seen the first one.
What?
I'm sorry.
You're fired.
I live in the country. I just moved back from the city.
Okay, all right. Watch Wreck-It Ralph. I have like nothing to do with the movie really, other than I'm in it for 2 lines.
What's your role?
Their role is Ryu from Street Fighter.
I don't know who that is. I haven't seen it.
You haven't played Street Fighter?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. It has real video game characters make cameos in it. Their cameos have nothing to do with the actual plot of the movie, but they're in it as a nostalgic nod to gamers, because it's set in the video game world.
Well, I knew it was that, but like, I just never had a chance to see it. And everyone's like, oh, that show ever.
So much better than Frozen. People are like, Frozen! Like, shut up.
Just let it go.
Do you want to? Yeah, just let it go. See what you did there. Do you want to build a snowman? No. I don't. Go away. Do I want to what? Do you want to build a human? Oh. Oh God. My God. Okay. More questions? Comments? Stuff? Yeah.
You said you're a drummer. Like, what's your kit like?
Drummer. Okay, so I haven't played my drum set in years because I've lived in Los Angeles for the past 9 years, and before that I lived in apartments. My drum set I got when I was in 8th grade. It's a 5-piece black Ludwig with Zildjian cymbals. Love it. I miss playing the drums. Now, because you live in an apartment, thanks to technology, they make electronic sets. You just put in your headphones and bang, and then you're not going to bug your neighbors. So that's my next goal. Actually, Johnny Young Bosch, who has his own band now, I Shine, he donated. He just gave me an old, cheap drum set, electronic drum set that I haven't put together yet. But it's like, all right, so I can feed that craving to play the drums, not bug the neighbors, and just, yes. I feel like going to Guitar Center or something. You go in there and there's all these drums. It's like, but here's the thing. Playing guitar or playing any instrument, it's only fun for the person playing it. It's usually annoying for everyone else, right? Practice, rehearsal, especially if you're bad at it. It's like, is that guy ever going to tune the guitar? Oh my God. Or just, and drums are loud just by nature. You can't really be subtle with that. Unless it's a practice pad. You know, those aren't loud. But those don't sound good. They just sound boring. Yeah. The worst scene in Dragon Ball Evolution, it starts right at the beginning after the Fox logo. All the changes, man. Taking Gohan's story and giving it to Goku. And what? Yeah, I know. That was anticlimactic. It's Kamehameha. It's like, oh, okay. It's just, it's CPR. Yeah. Master Roshi, I mean, he did as good as he could, Chow Yun-Fat. It's like, all right, he's a name. Here's the thing, people said, oh, they shouldn't, this is a whitewashed movie, it's terrible, they should have cast Asians. Guess what? If that movie was all Asian, the script still sucks. The movie would still suck. It's not just about casting racial things. I would argue that the characters in the Dragon Ball universe aren't Japanese. They have some Japanese sounding names, but I mean, I don't know. It's just like saying Full Metal Alchemist, that's not set in Japan. Yeah. It's an interesting conundrum.
Attack on Titan's definitely set in Germany.
Attack on Titan set in Germany, okay. Yeah. So, what else do we have on our mind today? Nothing? Oh, panel's done. Thank you. I've never been to a con where they did that. 10-minute warning, 5-minute warning. Kind of blows the momentum. Not that I had any, but if I had momentum, that would be a little disheartening. It's like, I'm talking here. Thank you. But anyway, thanks for coming.
Remember, daylight savings time change is now in effect. I have returned a piece of your soul.
Okay, that was cute. I like that. If they're going to do those messages, they should have had the DBZ announcer do it, right? Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully I'll get to see you guys next year or years beyond that. Thank you so much for coming to Nebraskon. Hope you had a good time. Take care.